From the Liberia Broadcasting System in Painesville, good evening and welcome to Lntv News Live. 30 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. I'm Cecilia Clark anchoring tonight's edition, and these are the top stories. President Weah attracts big commitment for development from United Arab Emirates. Government of Liberia announces that equipment for the installation of a new Timor River bridge connecting Rivers to 3 other counties is in country, or is now set for Lone Stars in crucial Tex African Cup of Nations qualifier match with Congo Brazzaville, says Coach Thomas Kojo. And away from Liberia, Nigeria's Minister of Education warns that parents who refuse to send their children to school will be prosecuted. These plus many more interesting stories are coming up. But first, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Thanks for rejoining us. We now take our first development. The Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, has promised to work along with President George Weah to achieve his development plan for Liberia. The Crown Prince said Liberia is important to the UAE, assuring of better relationship with the country. According to an executive mansion release, the assurances were made during a meeting between the UAE Crown Prince and President Weah in Abu Dhabi. The Crown Prince hailed President Weah's visit and hoped it will strengthen ties between the UAE and Liberia, as well as open new avenues for bilateral cooperation in the interest of the two countries. In remarks, the Minister of State of the UAE said his government and people take special delight in helping President Weah achieve his development goals for Liberia. President George Weah is accompanied on the trip by Representative Edwin Melvin Snow, Ministers Bezanga Finlay, Eugene Nangbe, Daniel Ziankan, and Chokon Wu. Public Works Ministry says equipment for the installation of the new Timor River Bridge in Rivers County is in country. The bridge, according to engineers, has lived its usefulness and now appears to be a death trap for the people in the area. The situation has so far attracted the prompt attention of the government through the Public Works Ministry. According to Assistant Public Works Minister for Planning and Programming, James Reynolds, currently the detour work by engineers is at the verge of completion. He said the completion of the detour will subsequently pave the way for the commencement of the new bridge project soon. He spoke in an interview with Lntv News.
They completed the center pier for that bridge. And we realized that going into the rainy season when the bridge is delaunched, that bridge serves as a major corridor, for residents in the area and even for conduit, people transmitting hospital supplies, logistics, it's a livelihood, and it cannot just be completely, discontinued for an extensive period of time. So we had a meeting with the contractor, and we agreed that we do a temporary bypass whilst the village bridge is delaunched and a new bridge is launched to replace that. I also just want to emphasize that the new bridge that is needed to be installed is already in country. We've had a new bridge in country for some time, and the contractor is quite prepared to do the delaunching and the relaunching of the new bridge. So we are currently on course with constructing the depot, week or two, we expect that that detour will be, will be started, and probably within 3 weeks from now will be completed. After that.
Assistant Public Works Minister for Programming, James Reynolds. The Ministry of Public Works is said to be monitoring the performance of drainage system on recently constructed roads in Monrovia, that's Montserrado County. Speaking in an ELBC interview Wednesday, the Assistant Minister at the Ministry of Public Works, James Reynolds, said they have identified serious challenges in the waterways, mainly along the Dole Community Road, which is as a result of the wetland situation in the area. However, Mr. Reynolds added that they are working on technical modalities to observe the situation during this rainy season to ensure a perfect solution can be reached soon.
These issues have been raised, and we are cognizant of these issues. The minister, a couple of weeks ago, paid a visit to the Dole Community Road. Some of the residents of the area raised those issues. We raised our own concerns with the contractor. The technical team at the ministry agreed that it would be useful for us to observe the performance of the drainage. This is the first major rainy season that the road is about to experience, and so some more conclusions can be drawn from there. As you know, the Dole community is a wetland area, and so there are serious challenges in terms of discharge. The seawater is somewhere, or Montserrado River, and the seawater, the river side is somewhere, I think 10 or 20 meters away from the Claratown Field area that they are describing. So you can imagine that most of the people in the periphery of that area will be in the sort of the mouth of the river. So we are aware of this, and we went there, we observed it, we decided on some ways to mitigate the problem, as well as ensuring that as it performs during the rainy season, it will give us a better understanding of what we needed to do. So those things have been certainly considered. The consultant also, and based on recommendations in ways we can improve the drainage performance.
Meanwhile, Mr. Reynolds said massive progress is in the making for the government to execute the Chip City roads in some parts of the county. The Chip City road, according to Assistant Minister Reynolds, is cheaper, very effective, and can be completed faster, including a lifespan for over 10 years.
It's a law. We construct a pavement, we pave this road, we do the surveys and put in some crushed aggregates and then pave the road, but we don't use the normal asphalt. It's a mixture of chippings or crushed rock and bitumen that we use to seal the top of the road rather than the usual asphalt. And that allows for a lower cost of construction, and also is very effective in terms of for areas when there are lower traffic volume. So the government started to look at these things for non-primary roads. Primary roads are roads that connect our main county capital, and they have higher traffic volume.
So what about last spring?
The test results that come in so far, and the information we know. CHIPSU is not new to engineers. It's something that's been done in Ghana, in Angola, and so many other countries in the US as well. The road normally goes, the average lifespan of the road is between 10 to 15 years, and usually maintenance is done after about 6 to 7 years, especially when it's done properly. The most effective thing about it is that it's quite easy to construct. Once you gather the equipment and you gather the skills.
Sino County lawmaker Jane Nangwe-Slaw is calling Liberians to be patient, as President Weah will need time to develop Liberia. According to Representative Slaw, criticism of the government is good, but giving the president space to work is quite important. He made the disclosure in an Lntv news interview.
What I'm doing is being realistic. People say, oh, look at next to Sierra Leone, they may do this, they may do the other one, this one, that one. Look at the system that he inherited. This world will not disappear now. Look at the economy of Sierra Leone. Was it in shambles when this man took over? Compare that to our situation. There are certain ships that may be smooth sailing. When you change captain, nobody knows because the ship is still going. There are other ships that change captain during turbulence, and the turbulence will go for some time before the new captain really finds his bearings. I'm not finding excuses for the government. There are some decisions and some actions that need improvement. Yes, I agree. But again, that comes with the terrain of inexperience. Okay, all of us, we learn on the job. And president's job is what everybody all around the world, we learn on it. Look at what President Trump of the great United States is going through. I mean, I think he has more difficulties. If you supply the economy, he has more political problems than we have here or than any other African country, has. But it all comes with the terrain. Maybe if Trump gets a second term, or even the last 2 years in his first term, he may pick up. Alright? There are certain things that can make you to calm down. When you get there, you think you have it all and know it all and all of that, and say, okay, situations can make you to settle in. So, oh, yeah. Some of us went to the Capitol building as firebrands.
Meanwhile, the Director General of the Liberia Extractive Industry and Transparency Initiative says President George Weah remains committed to addressing the economic hardship in the country.
Because we are convinced and convicted that President George Manneh Weah intends to address the suffering, the hardship, the difficulty of our people. We are convinced, and that's the reason why we decided to support him. I'm sure out of objectivity, that's why Honorable Nabwi's Law decided to join us. Because we can see the sincerity of this president. When people think about 60 billion gone missing continuous, you hear people who are supposed to be responsible.
If you were outside, you would invest money here, you can't with all these negative stuff. Yeah.
And people knew that it wasn't true. Some of the people who were even trumpeting the falsification were people who were involved in killing the economy. They were the same people using some of the very money to buy t-shirts, put people out in the street, they gave them names, whether it was Coca-Cola bomb or Cocoa bomb, whatever bomb it was. I'm not associated with bombs because I'm not a terrorist. But the point is, you can't do that to our economy. Look at the reports. Just to talk about
yeah, we'll go into that.
Tying up the political economy, because here is it. The political economy tells you that governance must be maximized for the social advancement.
For the first time in Liberia, the West Africa Blue Oceans Conference is currently taking place in the country. The conference, which officially opened on Wednesday, brought together participants from across Liberia and other parts of the world. Zokwe Beslo-Konen has been attending activities of the conference and now reports.
For the first time ever, Liberia is hosting the Blue Oceans Conference, an environmental and marine conference in West Africa, representing a historic moment for the country. The conference provides a stage to identify areas of sustainable management of Liberia's ecosystem. It began on Monday, March 18, 2019, and was officially launched on Wednesday, March 20 in Monrovia. Mr. Jesler Mori is Liberia's Minister of Mines and Energy. He spoke at the opening of the conference.
We must share best practices and experiences. Most solutions are local, but many have broader relevance. Liberia has a critical role to play, judging from its rich maritime history. We are committed to providing integrated, coordinated support for the implementation of relevant agreements on the ocean.
Also speaking was the Deputy Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority, NAFA, Mr. Augustine Manombala.
we need a call to action to muster a collective approach from all sector agencies in mitigating these challenges, which might have serious impact on the sustainability of the fishery resources and health of our ocean.
For their parts, the head of Development Cooperation at the Swedish Embassy, Elisabeth Harleman, and the country representative of Conservation International, Jessica Donovan Allen, pledged their organization's support to the Liberian government.
Today, there are also a growing number of examples of how unsustainable marine resources use can lead to violations of people's right to life, health, and safety. This is why investments in environmental sustainability, including sustainable marine use, is a prerequisite for poverty reduction.
The Blue Action Fund will expand and improve marine protected areas and supporting sustainable livelihoods. The total capital is some 70 million euros, and we will continue to work in different regions of the world. We have also signed an agreement with the World Bank to contribute 30 million euros to support ProBlue, a multi-donor trust fund focusing on 4 themes: sustainable fisheries and aquaculture, halting marine pollution, sustainable blue economy, and capacity building for better management of marine and coastal areas.
However, Liberia remains extremely vulnerable to climate change. Reporting from Painesville, my name is Zokwe Beslo-Konen.
Zokwe Beslo-Konen with that brilliant report. Well, if you are just joining us, it's a reminder that you are watching Lntv News Live, and these are the top stories. President Weah attracts big commitment for development from United Arab Emirates. Government of Liberia announces that equipment for the installation of a new Timber River Bridge connecting Rivers to 3 other counties is in country. All is set for the Lone Stars and crucial next match of the nation's qualifier match with Congo-Brazzaville, says Coach Thomas Kojo. And off the home front, Nigeria's Minister of Education warns that parents who refuse to send their children to school will be prosecuted. We take a short break, and when we come back, we bring you Lntv Sports. Please keep watching.
Pleasant good evening. Welcome to the sports where all eyes and ears now move to DR Congo, where the Liberia national football team, the Lone Star, will be national this weekend when they face the Lepers of DR Congo in the concluding stage of the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations. Liberia currently sits second in Group G, 1 point behind league leaders or group leaders Zimbabwe. When Liberia can qualify with a draw and hope that Zimbabwe also have 4 defeat to Congo Brazzaville. Well, the Lone Star dedication, a 41-man delegation, is on its way to Kinshasa, DR Congo, where before they left, LFA President Mustafa Raji, speaking to the media, said the delegation was moving to Kinshasa with a high momentum and the players themselves were in high spirit. He says tapping and other benefits for the players have all been taken care of when he spoke to the media.
Players and members of the technical staff in Liberia received the full payments of per diems. Flight tickets were arranged and scheduled. We currently have our advanced team, the team manager and the advisor from the Ministry of Youth and Sports in Congo DR, and they've commenced arrangements with the Liberian community to help support and mobilize all other Liberians to move up to the stadium on Sunday to support the Liberian national team. Currently we have in Congo DR 5 players. We expect 5 more to be arriving this evening. That is Alin Jai from Switzerland. Savanos Nimland now has been issued a new traveling documents. So you also be arriving along with Alin Jai. William Jebo and Joy Johnson will be on another flight that will be landing Royal Air Morocco tonight. And then the last is Tony Tisdale that will be joining the host of other players. The pardons for those players, international players, will be taken by the delegation from here to be provided them. The team is in high spirit. We believe that we can pull a win and qualify. I'm very, very optimistic. And we'll also be calling on Liberians to join hands.
LFA President Mustafa Raji, Coach Thomas Kojo, who is the caretaker manager of the national football team, also speaking to the media just before they boarded the bus to the Rabas International Airport, said he is moving to Kinshasa with his team for a victory.
The preparation has been very good. The support from the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the Liberia Football Association have been very good in the sense that we have not had any serious problem in terms of logistics. So everything has been going good. And by the grace of God, today we'll be leaving to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The local base players, including the rest of the guys from Liberia, we're traveling today. And we're going to arrive tonight in Kinshasa, and by tomorrow, the rest of the guys, will be in Kinshasa, where we're going to start our preparation for this crucial match. So thanks to each and every one of you guys, because it is important that the Liberian people get to know what's happening with the national team.
Thomas Kojo, the caretaker manager of the national football team, the Lone Star, were also addressing the media was Youth and Sports Minister Zilga Wilson, who was also part of the 41-man delegation heading to Kinshasa. He praised the managers of the national football team and said he hoped Liberia can come back home with flying colors.
We are pleased with the work they have done thus far. They are still working. Their work is still ongoing. The game is on Sunday, so they are still working. I want to thank them. And we also want to thank our managers, the Liberia Football Association, for the level of cordiality that exists between the two institutions. We've been working very fine together, and that's how it should be, and we continue to do that. But on another note, also football, I'd like to use this medium to extend our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to our Special Olympics team. As you all may be aware, we sent 3 athletes. This is Liberia's first time attending the Special Olympics with over 7,000 athletes from over 194 countries in Abu Dhabi. We sent 3 athletes, and they are returning on Saturday with 3 gold medals and 1 bronze.
Youth and Sports Minister Zilga Wilson there paying tribute to the Special Olympics athletes of Liberia who collected 4 medals at the just concluded Special Olympic Games in Abu Dhabi. And I just ask, take leave of you. 2 of the favorites for this year's Liberian FA Cup could not make it to the second round of the competition. They were booted out by clubs that many people did not believe could take a point out of them. 10th Division club based in Lower Maghibie County, Chabu FC, suffered Watanga FC to their first defeat, beating the First Division League leaders in the knockout competition 3-2 in post-match penalties. Nema United also got the shock when they lost to Kedris. Well, that's it for the sports. More for you tomorrow.
Many thanks for rejoining us, and I'm Cecilia Clark anchoring tonight's edition. We continue with our stories. The University of Liberia and EcoBank Liberia have signed an agreement for the bank to extend loan full-time employees of the University Faculty Association. Speaking at the signing ceremony Wednesday, the president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Ophelia Weeks, lauded EcoBank Liberia for its assistance.
The administration of the Faculty Association took it upon themselves to go and look at alternative ways in which faculty could be helped financially. And the president specifically, Councillor Blummer, made many trips to a variety of banks to look into seeing what could be done. And we started with EcoBank because it's our parent bank. And we're very grateful for your willingness to work with the University Faculty Association and the University of Liberia. We hope that this will be a relationship that only grows.
In remarks, the managing director of EcoBank Liberia, Josh Mensah Asante, said the bank will continue to find innovative ways to promote its business and customers base.
We extend our full banking services to the membership of the University of Liberia Faculty Association. This includes loans, a variety of our digital products and services, as well as other traditional banking facilities to the Alpha members. Under this arrangement, faculty members can apply for personal loan, vehicle loan, and mortgages, depending on the individual's debt service ratio. So depending on your salary and how much you can afford to pay as interest, all these are available to those that are eligible.
We now take our foreign development. Nigeria's Minister of Education has warned that parents who refuse to send their children to school will be prosecuted. Adamun said criminalizing parents would help reduce the number of children not in education. Many parents complain they lack the money to send their children to school and instead send them onto the streets and into markets to hawk items. The BBC says failure in the education system in recent years is due to a lack of government funding. Well, on that note, viewers, this is how we close the curtain on tonight's edition of Lntv News Live. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. President Weah attracts big commitments for development from the United Arab Emirates. Government of Liberia announces that equipment for the installation of a new Timor River bridge connecting Riverside to 3 other counties is in country. All is now set for Lone Stars and crucial next African Cup of Nations qualifier match with Congo Brazzaville, says match that's the coach, Thomas Kojo. And off the home front, Nigeria's Minister of Education warns that parents who refuse to send their children to school will be prosecuted. Many thanks to our entire production team for making tonight's edition of LNTV News Live a success. Thanks also to you for watching. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Cecilia Clark at Anchored. Good night.
Naresh Brothers, retailer in consumer electronics, home and office furniture, located on Randall Street, Broad Street, Red Light, Waterside, and 15th Street Sinker, are the sole distributor of Armstrong, Addy, H2O, TCL, and so many best brands around the world. Naresh Brothers also have a wide range of home appliances, including freezers, washing machines, air conditioners, and the first ever rechargeable flat screen TV in Liberia. Yes, at Naresh Brothers, we have cell phones, stereo sets, mixers, and amplifiers for any occasion. And that's not all. At Naresh Brothers, you can find the best quality home